the Chevrolet Performance side. He'll try to take down the Camaro of Teddy Barlow. Joe running that big Dodge combination, try to get the job done. Absolutely outstanding first round of Super Gas. Well, Joe Harper's trying to get down there and size up that Camaro over there of Teddy on the double breakout. Wow, Teddy Barlow gets it done. Teddy goes 985. Joe goes under a little further with a 983. Mercy sakes. Teddy took the stripe down there on that double breakout. Boy, this is brutal. Sarah Becker and John Sikish. They're going to try to get some of that. They're going to try to make the lights dance on the top end. Becker in the left lane out of the Chevy stage. John Sikish. Camaro, the Corvette, who's going to get their invitation to round number 2. We'll find out in a second. It'll be John Sikish. Sikish goes 991 to Sarah's 992. Pretty tight on the tree, pretty tight at the stripe. John takes it by 19 thousandths of a second. John took the stripe and takes the win. All right, the breakfast's been going on for a while over here on the east side, Nitro Grill, and they're just about ready for lunch at the Nitro Grill. Nitro Hog Grill will have pulled pork about 11 o'clock, and the Hoosier popcorn will be ready by 11 o'clock. And I'll tell you what, well, you need popcorn. The show's been pretty good out here. Scott Deffenbaugh and Osby Brewington ready to head down track. And Osby with a lot of trouble, but Scott Deffenbaugh, he obviously was paying attention. Scott goes trip zip on the tree, runs 10:09. Osby wasn't even part of the battle plan. Osby having all kinds of problems, and well, that happens occasionally if you're out here drag racing on the NHRA trail. Jeff Smith Jr. with a beautiful Skylark. Got that big block shoehorned in between the frame rails, and Bob Locke got the top down with the 57 Corvette. So all is quiet just for a little while. Both of them pre-staged. Probably munching on a candy bar they can pull out of the glove box. Now they're just about ready. Bob says, let's go. We gotta go. Well, Bob went. Hung that red apple on the right side of the branch down near the tree. Jeff Smith Jr. says, we'll take it. Jeff's so 16 clean and green, 991. And Bob, he just said, well, let's just see what the car would have done anyway. 9894 for Bob. Short race. Call that an 11-inch race. And Jeff Smith Jr. advances as Rob Goodrich and Tom Diamond. Nice looking Armor Paving and Sealing 27 Ford T. Well, he's going to try to take that race car, turn on the right side scoreboard, and he does very quickly. Rob Goodrich up on the wheel, let go of the button, 3 thou too quick. Tom is your early winner. 991 for Tom, 997 for Rob. Here comes Jacob Elrod, another former champ, running for Sunoco, Hoosier Tire, and a Bruzy transmission. Jacob's been in a few finals over his early career, and Tim Terry, the Monza, the red Monza, out of Palmyra, Wisconsin. So it's Jacob left. Got those tail lights. He's flickering at us. Probably wants us to bring him a bottled water or something. I don't know if that's the signal or what, but they are both pre-staged, and this race is just about to happen. Jacob on them stops quite a bit down there. He is now put the power on, and on the double breakout, Jacob turned that Corvette into a dump truck down there on the double breakout. He still takes the win. He's 986. Tim a mile under to 981. They both just decided we're going to keep the pedal downs and leave the brake pedal alone as they cross the stripe as Charlie Flanagan and Rodney Benson roll in. A couple door cars. Camaro left, Mustang right. Rodney's going to ride that horse hopefully to a win, but Charlie says not so fast, and that's right. Charlie basically doesn't use much stoppage there, but Rodney used a lot of it, and here he comes, and he does get the win. The Ford taking the stripe down there, going 992. Benson is your winner. Charlie just struggled most of the weekend. He goes 999, and he will have to park that car in the portable garage with wheels underneath of it. As Ken Bowers and Brian Casson, a couple white cars are going to battle it out. We'll stick Brian in the Grand Am left side and Ken Bowers in the Corvette on the east side of the racetrack. Well, Ken Bowers is trying to get down there and does. Brian Casson was 006 on the tree. Bowers was 009. Bowers goes 993. And Brian also 993. And Ken Bowers takes the stripe, and a tight one by 0.02 of a second. I am so glad I'm up here and not down there competing with this super gas class because it has been brutal. Bob Prose, Jody Davis set to go. Honey Creek Collision Center, Bob Prose taking the right lane, trying to take a win to Terre Haute round one, and does. Bob Prose 991. Jody Davis off pace with a 996. Both of them 013 on the tree. So it was a dead heat at the start. They just had to settle it at the finish line. So Bob Prose picking the win light. To Ray Miller III coming up with that gorgeous chassis builder Miller race car out of Spring City, Tennessee. That's where they park that, polish it through the week. And Connor Millwood with the Challenger. Got a big Dodge under the hood. He'll hook into the Ray Skillman lane. Wheels come up for Miller. Throttle stop, slaps it back down. And here comes Ray Miller with that big horsepower trying to lasso the Challenger. And does. Both of them 994. Ray Miller had about 200s at the start and takes the win by about 29 thousandths at the finish line. Outstanding racing. Well, Steve Fields joining in with the Ring and Pinion Shop Firebird. He'll be in the passing lane as Steve Hoyt will be his opponent in the Corvette. Steve and Jan, 63 Corvette. Low beams on the tree. We got to roll in a few more inches, hit that sweet spot they'd been practicing earlier in the weekend. And Steve Fields goes red. Steve Hoyt got a free time run right here. He's your winner, goes 993 as Steve Fields goes down there, and he just basically turned it into a time run as well. Already missed the tree and goes 9899. So Steve Hoyt's got to keep the gas tank filled up and keep competing. Kevin Adams, the former U.S. National Super Gas winner, 67 Chevy 2 out of Terre Haute. He'd like to repeat that feat as Tom Hack says, wait for me. My Trans Am's up to the task with my big block Pontiac. Tom on the left side, Kevin on the right. Got to try to cut a good reaction time to help you buy some real estate called the finish line, and Kevin Adams does just that. He had about 600s in his back pocket, and he was able to run 999 and take the win. I believe Kevin was probably pacing Tom Hack. Kevin took the stripe, takes the win by 12 thou as Hack goes 994 to Adams' 999. I'll tell you what, this is tough, and a lot of the decisions are made down there in that decision zone called about 30 feet in front of the finish line down there, and this is tough racing. Alan Bush, Don Giovanini II. Alan Bush running the Cavalier out of that Ray Skillman lane. The Mopar powered Dodge of Don Giovanini. And, well, Don just having all kinds of problems. Alan Bush has already secured the win. Alan Bush used his rear view mirror and he says, well, I know Don was there when we started, but just very unfortunate. And Don's just going to pull his hot rod over about the 8th mile and park it down there as he's obviously having some mechanical issues. So Alan Bush will advance into the next round. We're going to hold things up here for a little bit and see what Don needs down there to help him get off the racetrack. Whew, it's been fast, it's been furious. All the class drivers are just bringing their AAA game and hope it's enough. They've got the wagons loaded and hope they've got enough to turn on the wind lights, and it has been just some outstanding racing. And we're just barely getting started. So we're on hold here for a little bit, assisting Don down here about the 8th mile. Just a reminder, I believe they still got biscuits and gravy and breakfast sandwiches down here at the Nitro Grill. The east side is where all the food is available today. The Nitro Grill, they'll have lunch ready about 10 a.m. if you're into that part of your day. The Nitro Hog Grill, they'll have pulled pork sandwiches about 11 o'clock. They'll have them ready over here on the east side. And Hoosier Popcorn came back, and they've got some kettle corn, caramel corn, and regular popcorn, and they said they'd have that all ready to go about 11 o'clock this morning. And they've got plenty of beverages at all of those locations to keep hydrated today. And while we get a little bit of downtime, seat belts save lives, but only if you use them. Always buckle up and drive sober on Indiana's roadways. We want you to arrive alive. That's a public service announcement from the Indiana Department of Transportation. We want everybody to be safe. We want everybody to continue home safely later on this afternoon as our racers leave through different parts of the day, and we want to wish everyone safe travels to your next destinations. Of course, most of the racers' plans are they want to hang around here to the end, and hey, that's fine too, but you got a lot of work to do before you get to that point. But we're getting there. We're started anyway. The fuel's already flowing through the lines of these hot rods, and we love hearing the hot rods, and that means we're back to our fun. Lee Klingensmith, Gary Hartig will continue on. We're still working around that 990. 27 Ford T, the 68 Camaro. So both drivers have taken their time in there. Got one opportunity to get it right. Find their sweet spot they've been working on. And we're green. That's all we're going to say right now. And the win light, Lee Klingensmith, 996. Off of the, looking at the 990 number, but if you see Gary Hartig's reaction time, you can see why that Lee can really take it easy and turn the wind light on. Gary goes 991, and I'm going to leave that one right there as Presley Ray Wilkerson and Pat Martin going to roll into our one-way runway. Presley Way and the Ray in the Ray Skillman lane. Out of Louisville, Kentucky, Pat Martin from Ohio. Neither one of them want to start heading back on the working at it. And the wind light shines for Presley Ray Wilkerson. He was 017 on the tree, 990 with a 5 out the back door. Presley Ray felt good enough. He took the stripe down there, and Pat Martin's day is done. As Pat goes 992 after running 026 reaction time, and Ken Sanders and Doug Croft want to make sure the wind light comes on their side, but 1,320 feet, there's a lot of things that go on in the start. You want to make sure you're free ball. And Sanders and Doug Croft getting his back. Doug hanging way back. Now he's going to try to catch up to that pickup truck down there. It's Ken Sanders. And Doug Croft keeping it on the high side of the hill with a 993 as your winner is Ken Sanders. Well, the GPS got him there on the shortcut, but not when you're trying to run 990 and you go 981. So Anthony Cropper and Ron Lower are joining in the fray. They've got the racetrack reserved here for just a little bit. Anthony in the Ray Skillman Auto Group lane. Got that Beretta all tied in and ready to go, and well, Anthony grabbed that red spray paint can and he just sprayed the bulb on the left side of the tree, missed it by 1 thou, and Ron Lower is your winner, 994. Ron takes it through the quarter mile. 988 for Anthony, just to fill out their time slip. Carl Root with that gorgeous 63 Nova is going to have to run the Gremlin of Connie Rudy. So Connie, he'll check out the east side of the Route 1320 route, and Carl Root's going to try to get the job done. I'm pretty sure Carl will be doing the chasing this time, but we'll keep an eye on that. Carl's car's smoking a little bit as it continues on down track. It continues doing just that, and as Bob Unkefer says, it's been doing that all weekend. But Carl Root, we're going to get to see that again. Carl goes 990 with a 4. Carl was behind on the tree and hung in there, took the stripe, takes the win from Connie Rudy. Connie goes 992 with the Gremlin. Mark Sanders and Bill Jackson, the Jackson Scratcher Illumina. Bill Jackson's been doing this for quite a while. Mark Sanders, the firefighter from Harrison, Ohio. He's plugged into that Cavalier. And Mark Sanders allowed to go in. Bill Jackson's got a bulb to match the color of that red Lumina as Mark Sanders advances to the next round. Sanders is going to take it on down there and see where they're at. Well, 10:01. I don't know if that's one of those I'm not playing my cards or Mark just missed it that much. Jackson goes 994 as his day is done. Michael Duke and Paul Fiddler. The Vega of Paul Fiddler out of Willard, Ohio. He was staring down the barrels of the Chevrolet Performance lane as Michael Duke, the truck driver from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Don't want to go back to Tennessee yet. 8th mile, they're already locked together down there. The wind light will come on for Michael Duke. So Michael, you can't go back to Tennessee yet. He goes 991. He had about 300s on the tree as Fiddler goes 995, a little off pace. Well, I know one thing. The red car is going to win this time. I don't know if it's going to be Tom Small's Steve Schmidt Racing Engine sponsored 68 Camaro or whether Scott Udenberg's 2015 Mopar hot rod is going to do it. They're both in it. And wow, Tom Small 998, Scott Udenberg with a 1002. A little bit of pacing going on down there, maybe a little deception going on down there, but Tom Small with that 88 light takes the win. All right, super stock. First three, left side of the ladder. All right, Bob Unkerfer shaking his head. I got but anyway, we do need you to the lanes. We want to keep the train a-rolling today. Ryan Bolin and Richard Spradling, well, they're at the head of the train here right now as they're getting ready to go to the north side of the property. Ryan Bolin, Richard Spradling. Ryan Bolin got in. Too much into the Christmas tree as he goes red, and Richard Spradling says, I'll take him any way I can get him. 991 for Spradling, and Spradling will keep dancing, and Ryan will park the machine as he goes 994. Larry Roedel and Rusty Cook. I believe Rusty was a runner-up last year in the Lucas Oil Series here. Rusty running for Ohio Crankshaft. Cynthiana, Kentucky is where they shine that up through the week, and Larry Roedel's been doing this for a while. He'll hustle down the west side of the track, and Larry got into the tree too much, and Rusty Cook goes 008 out of the gate, 988 out the back door. Rusty's your winner, and Larry just another one that missed the tree by 9 thou, but you've got to press the tree. You got to try to cut the best light you can, and sometimes it just don't work. 992 for Larry to fill out their time slip as Morris Yates and Mike Lagos move in. Morris Yates out of Corydon, Kentucky, another truck driver. He'll drive the vet for a little while, 990. He wants to drive the vet longer than a little while as Mike Lagos, 92 miles. They're making the journey. Cars bouncing a little bit as they traverse down the racetrack. Wind light will shine for Morris Yates. Morris 021 on the tree, and Mike Lagos was a little better than that. 991 for Yates, 992 for Lagos. Morris Yates takes the stripe, takes the win by 15 thousandths of a second as Jerry Duke and Robert Sadler quickly move in. That is a nice looking 88 Corvette. Robert Sadler gets to wheel that one here in Super Gas as Jerry Duke with the Beretta. So the Corvette squirts out there very quickly. Here comes Jerry Duke putting that bow tie power down. Wind light will be Jerry Duke, 998 with an 016 bulb as well. Robert, when you got three numbers in the reaction time, it's hard to turn a wind light on. Run a 993, tighter to the number. But those reaction times can really break your heart. Chris Tenuta and Dave Dahlen. Dahlen in the 57 Corvette under the watchful eye of Judy, and Chris with the 64 version of the Corvette. The bright, beautiful Corvette of Chris. Wheels up for Chris. Throttle stop, slams it back down. Power brought back into play down there. Good race, tight race, finish line. Chris takes the win, triple nines. He let Dahlen take the stripe, and Dahlen breaks out with a 986. So Chris had a little advantage off the reaction time, gets down there and decides to let Dave take the stripe. And, well, it worked out for Chris that time as Larry Bernhausen and Ed Toolis are our next pair. Larry's ran that Vega for a lot of years, and he's been in a few winner's circle at national events and Lucas Oil races, and well, Larry knows that car like the back of his hand, but let's see how it works out. Whoa! Whoa, whoa. I'll tell you what, Ed Toolis has got some fluid out behind the car. So anyhow, Ed Toolis fighting that car, fluid trail behind it. Well, Larry Bernshausen turned on the wind light, and Ed Toolis had quite a ride going on as fluid exited the car, and that car went from the right lane to the left lane as Ed was doing all he could to keep that car off the wall. So we're going to hustle down there and check, make sure Ed's machine's okay, but I believe we are going to be down for a while with some cleanup, unfortunately. Not news I like to share with cleanup and oil.